Setting up business policies for shipping is great. It will force you to think through and streamline how you're doing things, and then it will save you time. That said, everyone is going to want to set up their shipping policies differently, depending on what they sell and their business model. In fact, I'm going to set up my shipping policies in this store differently than the ones in my other store because of differences in those two things. You should be able to watch what I do as an example, though, and extrapolate what systems will be best for you. First, to get to your shipping policies page, assuming you've opted in, go to your Your Name menu and choose Account Settings. And then choose Business Policies from the Selling section. When you get to your Business Policies page, close any annoying pop-ups. Then you're going to choose Shipping from this tiny View menu at the top here. This will filter the table so that you're only seeing your shipping policies. And what you'll see is a whole bunch of policies that eBay has created for you based on the shipping settings that you have used for your listing so far. You'll probably want to study what eBay has created and then modify those policies to suit your needs. I'm going to click on that and see what it is. When I look inside, it seems that this policy offers flat cost shipping and uses first class mail, and it's free shipping, and the handling time is 2 business days, and I offer international shipping through the global shipping program, but we can fix it up. First of all, because it's free shipping, it's essentially the same cost to all buyers, which is 0, but it's not a flat cost to me. If I use this policy the way it is, every time I go to ship an item, it won't have the shipping information pre-plugged in to help me pay the costs, which will vary from item to item based on the weight and location. So the first thing I'm going to do is change this to calculated. Then I'll recheck free shipping because I still want that. And then I'm going to choose first class here because that's going to be right for most of the things that I'm shipping on this account. And so it will be handy to have that show up as the default. In my case, I set 2 days as the handling time. I almost always ship out the same day or in one day, but I'm afraid of commitment and I like to give myself the leeway just in case. If you're trying to attain top-rated plus seller status, you'll want to choose 1 day or less handling time, but that's a topic for another day. And I don't charge a handling cost. Now, for international shipping, what I choose to do here is going to be slightly tricky. In my other store, I'll happily ship anything anywhere pretty much, and I don't use the global shipping program. In this store, however, I sell a lot of health and beauty items, which have more restrictions on where they can be shipped and how they can be shipped. What I'm going to do is set up my default shipping policy, which we're working on, to allow for international shipping, but then I'll make another one to account for items which cannot be sent internationally and must also be shipped ground when shipped domestically. I'm going to uncheck Sell Globally, Ship Domestically using the global shipping program because I don't want to use that. For the alternate shipping method, I'm going to say calculated cost varies by buyer and location. And then I'm going to say that I will ship worldwide. And before this menu changes when I choose that, if I don't want to ship worldwide, but just to certain areas, check them here. But I'm going to choose worldwide. And my default service is going to be first class international. I'm going to add $1 shipping cost just to cover the extra overprotective packaging I tend to use for international shipments and for the slight time difference it takes to print out a customs form instead of the regular label. I'm not going to create an exclusion list of countries I don't want to ship to. You can if you want, but I'm not going to. And last, I'm going to scroll back up and change the name of this policy to something that makes more sense to me. Free first class paid international first class. I'll just put that same thing in my description. The reason I put an asterisk in front of my names is so that I can tell that it's a policy that I have examined and approved or generated myself, and not something that eBay has automatically generated, because I like to weed those out or check those out anyway. And it does generate those from time to time if you do something new when you're doing a listing. I think this is all good. I'm going to hit save and confirm. And we'll go back to our table of policies. Here's mine with the asterisk. It's set as my default, which I want. I want to set up kind of the same policy, but without international shipping and with ground domestic shipping. Mind you, I'm going to have to reassign policies to listings after I'm done with all this organization, and I'll do that in the next video and show you how. But to set up this variation on my default listing, I'm going to select copy policy from my action menu, and it will pop up a copy. However, I'm going to change the name of this right away to ground domestic, no international. For the description, I'm going to actually write used for aerosols, perfume, nail polish, drugs, and or flammable or alcohol containing products. And the reason that I bothered to write that out is twofold. One is to remind myself what can't be shipped internationally that I often sell on this account. And the other is to help out any assistants or VAs that I might employ to help me list. So I'm going to change a few things. One is I'm going to change this to retail ground, because these items need to be shipped ground, even domestically. And then in international shipping, I'm going to turn off my alternative international shipping options by choosing no alternative international shipping. And I'm not going to check global shipping program or anything else. I'm just going to leave it. I have no international shipping on this policy. I hit save. Here is my new policy down here with the asterisk. So I can see what I have left to, actually I can sort on this field and then see. These are my ones that I've fixed up. And these are the ones I might want to look at or modify or delete. My plan for this store is I want to have 3 other kinds of business policies for shipping. One will be for items that weigh more than a pound, so they can't go first class. That's going to be my priority listing. And I think on that one, I just won't have international at all. So it's going to be things that weigh more than a pound, but can be shipped priority, which is not those dangerous items. Those cannot be shipped priority. Those are still going to have to go ground domestic, which I already have set up. The other policies I want to set up are for things that I don't want to offer free shipping for, which happens sometimes on this account. If it's going to be something that is particularly weighty to ship or that doesn't have as much competition, I might choose to have the buyer pay shipping. So I'll set up 2 policies for that, one for first class and one for priority, which is things over a pound. I'm sure you can figure out how I'll set those up based on what I just showed you. In general, if you're new to eBay, you're probably going to end up setting up shipping policies as situations arise. The first time you ship something that has to go priority, or the first time you ship something that is going to be cheaper in a flat rate padded envelope, or whatever the case may be. In my other store, I have policies for all kinds of different flat rate priority mailers, and they're super handy. And eventually I might set those up in this store too if I end up mailing those kinds of things often. So don't worry if you don't know all the details of what you need for shipping policies now. It's really easy to jump out of a listing, set up a shipping policy, and use it from then on. Once in a while, you'll probably end up back here on your Manage Business Policies page, looking over everything and organizing and cleaning things up. They do tend to get a little messy over time if you set something up that you never use, or if eBay creates some automatic policies for you. And so that's why I do this thing with the asterisk, so I can kind of see what I did and what eBay did. In the next video, we'll talk more about how to tidy up. So thanks and take care.